Hi brothers, it's the Clipper King returning, and as you can see, and as you've worked out from the intro, tonight I'm reviewing the Spider-Man figure from Spider-Man 3. It's got a simple pose at the moment. I am going to break this down into segments, review it up, score it up for you, repose it, try and show you a few choices of pose you could use for this. As you can see, I've just got the standard setup at the moment, the box, which is fucking huge for this sort of figure, and then the figure stood on back shelf under the light. So just have a quick look in figure for you. I'm filming into the light now a little bit, so, and that's the box. Right, stick with me guys, you know the score. I'm going to break it down into the 7 categories, score it out of 5. You know how Clipper King does it. So as you've just seen, I cut a little bit of the film in. I'm going to do the source material on this, and I'm not just going to take it that it's Spider-Man from part 3, because in my honest opinion I don't think you can tell the difference from the suit from any of the 3 films. So I'm just going to rate it as a movie version of Spider-Man, and anybody who doesn't know what that figure is, the fucking mental case. So straight away, the source material for me, big Marvel fan, big Spidey fan, I'm going to give it a definite bang on 5 out of 5. I'm sure some of you sideshow freaks guys or the militant Facebookers or whatever pop up and say his shoulder's too broad, he's too muscular, blah blah blah. Fuck off, it's Spider-Man, and there's no two ways about it. So source material, 5 out of 5. Right, rolling on to the packaging. Most of you at this point have already seen the package on Facebook or a couple of the early reviews that I've seen on YouTube, so you know the style. It's the shoebox, very similar to the Blade, the Thor and the Wolverine box, only this time it seems a lot bigger. Obviously the picture on the front represents Spider-Man's chest. It's really well done. The spider, as you can hear probably, is all raised up, and then the webbing's raised, and down there it's all raised, that, and then obviously the smaller web inside that sort of catches the light. If I move around you probably see the light catch on that. Obviously at the bottom, Spider-Man 3 font, saying it's Spider-Man figure from Hot Toys and the movie masterpiece. Yeah, so it's just like I said, shoebox style. Picture down that side, picture down the other, I'm trying to show you, and then inside that, you're obviously all familiar with the internal artwork sheet that you get. Nice shot, Spider-Man. I'm sort of struggling here because I'm filming towards the light instead of being able to get the camera inside the thing, but it's because the box is that big, it will only fit on the middle shelf, so I'm trying to do the best I can. Like I say, nice artwork on the inslip. That pulls down, and then obviously the figure sits in there with the bit of the building that you get with it. So yeah, really nice packaging. I think on the Blade and the Wolverine and Thor, I think I give the box 4 out of 5 if I remember rightly. I do like it. It's better than a standard slipcover. It's not awesome, but on this one, because of the sheer size of it and the textures they've used, I am going to give it a 5 out of 5. Right, rolling on to the likeness. As you can see, I've just got him posed on the double bit of building that he comes with. It's like a cornerstone from the building, I think. That's what I think it is anyway. Just got him sat on there. He's just looking out of New York, checking out what's cracking. And yeah, looks really good. Right, so the likeness. Not got a facial likeness, obviously, because he does come masked. The mask's not removable. I think the only way I can score the likeness is it instantly recognisable, and to that, like I said in the last section, it's an obvious yes. Everybody in the world should know this is. I'm not going to mention too much about the costumes, obviously I'm going to do the outfit, but yeah, Hot Toys have pulled out all stops. Really nice looking head. Obviously there's no Tobey Maguire sculpt underneath, but yeah, it looks really good. I think the proportions are pretty good. Once you get in hand, you'll notice the difference. I agreed with the early Facebook things. They did look a little bit too bulky, but that's dependent on how you position the arms, I think. But yeah, like I said, the likeness, I can't really go into it too much, but I would say it's instantly recognisable, so you've got to give it a 5 out of 5. Right, as you can see, got him in a jumping position to display the outfit. As you can see, it looks really good. I have got him on the Iron Man stand at the moment. Just got his arms spread, his legs spread. I'm in a nice, like I said, jumping position. I'm going to display him with the webs in one of the next sections. So yeah, the outfit's really nice. The lining on it is like a raised, really fine rubber. Obviously you wouldn't want to split or snap them pieces because you're going to affect your suit. The material they use is very similar to the sneaking suit that you got with the Bruce Lee set. So it feels really nice. Not the strongest material in the world, if I'm honest. The hands obviously are sculpted, material on the head, but what you do get obviously is a seam across the top and a seam under his chin. I've seen some people moaning about these seams. It's not a massive issue to me because once it's in the cabinet you can't really see it. If you can see it there, you've got good eyes. And like I said, the people taking photos on Facebook, they're taking them with HD cameras at like fucking 2 inches away, so you're gonna see it seams. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I'll probably come back and see if it stands test of time, this costume, because I don't know if it will. It's a little bit, I don't know if fragile is the right word, but I can't see it being heavy duty really, but it feels nice. The spider obviously on his chest is raised rubber, and the red spider on his back is raised rubber. I'm not going to, in fact I will pose that, just bear with me 1 second. Just turn that. You can see the red spider on his back, that's raised rubber. I think this Iron Man stand might come in really handy with this Spider-Man figure, because you will be able to get in a lot better poses. But yeah, I'm more than happy with costume. So I'm going to give it a... I would have given it a 5 out of 5 had it have had the removable headpiece, but because it hasn't, I'm going to mark it down. And also because of the material, like I say, it's not heavy duty really. I am going to mark it down slightly to give the outfit a 4 out of 5. Right, on to articulation. Probably the category you most want to know about on this figure. Just show you the pose. Sort of mid-swing, just casting his next web. Again, using the Iron Man stand. Right, articulation. If there's ever been a figure that needs to have perfect articulation, it's got to be this. Aside from probably the Ezio figure, which were really well articulated, say it got clothes on, the next one that you want to see fucking be able to pull off any move is Spider-Man. It's his character, he should be able to do it. So to get a 5 points, he would have to. Now, does this articulate that well? If I'm honest, no, it doesn't. It gets into some really nice poses. It's a true type body, or I would say a newly developed true type body. Does feel good, does feel sturdy. I were expecting it to be a little bit flimsy, but that's not the case. Like I say, you can pose it well. There's certain things he won't do. He struggles to put his hands together. If you wanted to like hold the web with one hand, you would really be sort of pushing him. He won't go into a crouch as if he's in the, like if he were crouching on the edge of a building looking over, he'd struggle to get his knees up that high. Obviously it's affected by the suit as well. His arms, my arms feel really stiff. I don't know if that's the case with everybody's. It's probably a good thing because it won't loosen off over time, but yeah, it does get into nice poses, but not a 5 out of 5. I can only give it a 4 out of 5. Right, we'll roll on to accessories, or extras as I call them. Just show you the pose first. Just got him, hands spread, sort of ready for action. I think if I'm honest, that's possibly how I'm going to pose mine, because space restrictions and obviously the characters I want to pose him with, I'm going to have him something like that. I'm not going to fuck about with webs and be changing his webs on and off his hands all the time, and or have him on the block and have him too high up sort of thing. But yeah, you do get a lot of choices to make with Spider-Man how you want to pose him, but like I said, we're on extras, so let's roll through them. You can see, it comes with hands, right and left web spinning hands, right and left relaxed hand, right and left fist, and the right and left sort of the web swinging hands. And what happens is the webs do fit in. The two longer webs, if I pull away, two longer webs sort of fit into the top of the hand, and then the two coil pieces fit on the downside of the hand, so it looks like he's actually swinging. Then he's got like two web blasts with like a bulky bit on the end. If you were like trying to knock somebody out with a web, that's the sort of thing he's got. As you can see, the webs have got the little black hoops on. That goes around the hand peg and then into his sleeve. Now that's the reason I'm not going to fuck about and start posing it all the time with these webs, is because every time you tuck it into the sleeve, I feel that it's picking away at the stitching on the sleeve. So not a really good design, I don't think, on that. So I'm going to avoid the webs, I think. And then obviously you get the web that he dangled down on, sort of thing, like it's attached to something with a spread bit on the end. Then obviously you get the hand pegs. And I would say anybody who buys a Spider-Man doesn't need at least one of them. You're working miracles, because I've nearly snapped mine once or twice already. And then you get some spare of the black rings. Then obviously get the building corner, like I've showed earlier. Get a standard Hot Toy stand. And that is it for extras. Not a lot, missing one major thing. You all know what Clipper King's going to say. Tobey Maguire head sculpt. It's obvious. I can understand why Hot Toys didn't put it in. They're probably going to come back and put it in a DX version or a fucking comic convention fucking exclusive like they've just done with the Batman. That's somewhere down the line probably, but I just think that this figure really needed it, and it would have given it a 5 out of 5. But not a bad set of extras, and probably everything you would need. I wish you would crouch better on that building, and I also wish that building would have a metal bit in the top, and then he'd have magnets on his feet so he can stand with it without risk of falling, but it hasn't got that. But on the extras, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Just before I roll on to the value, another one of the extras, as you've seen, a couple of poses I've done, I've had to use the Iron Man sort of the clear stand. I just wish also they'd have put to standing like that instead of the standard stand, because obviously Spider-Man spends most of his time swinging, climbing or jumping about, so I think that stand would have suited him better. But like I said, just a couple of things missing, a better stand and probably the Tobey Maguire head. And like I said, on the extras I've given it a 4 out of 5 anyway, and I think that's more than fair. So rolling on to the value, I'm going to leave it in the same pose and keep rolling. Some people I've spoke to over this week, I've told you, Clipper King's now dealing with a lot well, I say a lot, 4 or 5 people in China and Hong Kong. I'm reliable with them. They're really good at sending me these things. I'm having less and less damaged boxes because they're packaging them up better. I'm now sort of exclusively paying by PayPal. I know I can trust these guys. They're knocking me these figures down. I'm getting the early release figures now. I'm not fucking about pre-orders. So I picked this one up on a new release. I think most of you are probably paying about $150 to $160 on eBay. I actually paid £134, and that was EMS tracking, so I can't fault that. If you ever want me to put your give a shout and tell you who I'm using, I will do that. I'm not saying they'll always give you the same discount they give me. I do buy a lot of figures, as you know, and I do buy a lot of early releases, but that's what Clipper King paid, $134 delivered with EMS. I don't think this figure will ever be worth less than that, although I think the aftermarket on Hot Toys at the minute it's dried up a little bit, so we're going to have to be careful, guys. But the value, I'm still going to give it. If this one don't go through the roof, being a Spider-Man figure, I don't know what will. So I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 for value. Right, so overall, I've given the figure a 32 and a possible 35. Great figure. I would think most people are going to get it. Couple of things wrong with it, but nothing too major, nothing that should put you off. And as you can see, he's got his Marvel buddies around him. As you all know, the Marvel force is strong with the Clipper King, and if you want to walk into your bedroom or your office or whatever and see that display, you're fucking mental, because altogether they just look badass. More Marvel the merrier, Clipper King says. And like I say, I'm loving that display, and I hope you're liking it too. So yeah, like I said, I've given the figure 32 out of 35. Hope you've enjoyed the review, and hope you pick this Spider-Man up. Don't pay fruit nose for it. Shop around, boys, and see what you can do. But for now, this is Clipper King, and I'm out of here.